Greetings everyone, Stephen Jobson, the voice actor for Damian in Brawl Stars, and I get loads of questions from you all, which I love answering, but some of them don't quite have enough substance to be able to make into one full video. So I've decided to take some of the little questions, put them all together for you. So here we go. Okay, so the first question is, did I seriously not do any loud shouting or screamo singing before Damian? And short answer is no. I mean, I did a lot of screaming with characters. I've played characters that have died and stuff like that, so there was a lot of screaming and some blood-curdling screaming when it came to stuff like that. So lots of shouting, lots of screaming, but in terms of screamo singing, no, this was the first time I was doing it, and I really enjoyed it, and I don't think I'm too bad at it. I mentioned in a previous video that that was the reason why I was so close to not auditioning for Damian, because I was a bit unsure if I could pull it off. But I am so glad that I didn't listen to that little voice in my head and I did go for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now. So yeah, great question. Okay, so the next question is, if I wasn't a voice actor, what career path would I go down? So this might be a bit of a surprise. I'm not a full-time voice actor. I'm really trying to be, but I do have a day job as well, alongside all of this. I actually work in an office. Damian works in an office, typing up emails, alongside doing voice acting and in-person acting and YouTube and TikTok. So a lot of my day at the moment is, I get up a couple of hours before I work, I edit videos, I work. On my lunch break, I do auditions, and then once I finish work, I do even more editing and making videos for you all. But I don't mind. I love doing it, and hopefully one day I will be able to do less of the day job and do more of this. But if I wasn't an actor, what career path would I go down? I really, I thought about this a little while ago. I really enjoy looking after people and making people feel better. So something in the health profession, maybe a nurse or something like that. That's something that I thought about and I like the idea of. But in another life, that is not my life this time, acting is definitely what I'm pursuing, especially voice acting. Okay, so the next question is, did I get paid for voicing Damian? Yes. I mean, yeah, of course I do. I get paid for everything that I do. I'm a big believer that if you're good at something, you should be paid for it. But yeah, I got paid for playing Damian, and I got paid industry standard rates, which is fantastic. So if you're curious of what they are, if you head on over to a website called Gravy for the Brain, there are pricing charts on that website that do a fantastic job of explaining all the different levels, depending on the size of the project and roughly how much actors might get paid. Okay, so my next question is, what do I think of Damian's abilities? Love them, straight off the bat. I think they are so cool. I'm thinking back to when the music video was released and we got to see Damian properly for the first time, and when he was going after Dynamite and his gang and absolutely wiped them out. That was so fun. So I was really curious to see how they were going to translate that into the game, and I loved what they did with it. I actually got told in the recording session that his super was going to be something involving microphones, amps, like microphone amps that sort of like block people into an arena, which sounded really cool, and it looks so sick in the game, flying through the air. Only thing's missing is his wings. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. I think his abilities are really fun. I had a lot of fun learning them when I was doing the stream, because this Damian is Prestige 1 now. And if you haven't checked that out, you can find the whole stream on my YouTube channel, because it was a lot of fun, and I will be streaming again, and it'll be so awesome to see you there. Next question is, if I was in another game and I had to play a weird character, like a cookie, for example, would I do it? Yeah, of course I would. Why wouldn't you? The weird, strange characters are the best ones to play, and you have the most fun. I've played some weird characters. Weird on the surface, like I played skeletons and stuff like that, where the skeleton in this animation was the leader of his skeleton brethren only because he found a hat. He put a hat on, he was just like, I'm in charge now. I mean, that was Damian, that wasn't him. He was more like, Bone Brothers, I have a hat now, or something like that. But really cool. I come from a background of theatre and on stage and in person and stuff like that. You have to sort of consider whether or not you look the part. You know, am I the right height? Am I the right build? Do I look the part? Whereas in voice acting, you don't need any of that. All of that's taken out because it's purely the voice. So as long as you can pull off a voice that fits a character, you can be anything, which is so cool. So absolutely, the more weirder, the better, the more fun it is. I am all for it. So the next question is, how many characters have I voiced? I'll be completely honest with you, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. It's not like hundreds and hundreds like some people yet. I want to. But I'd probably say somewhere in the region of maybe 30-ish, 40 maybe. I've played a lot of characters where the animation or the video game hasn't been released yet. You know, I might have recorded quite a few years ago, but for one reason or another, it just hasn't been released. It might still be in development, or it might have got canned. I'm not 100% sure. But some of the big ones that I've played, you know, obviously Damian, he's my biggest character so far, which I absolutely adore. I played Sandy Reef in Planet Coaster 2, one of the mascots in the park management game that you can play to entertain the guests, which is really fun. I was in Stray Blade, like a sort of Souls-like game, but I played the enemies in that, so you got to fight me and you know, defeat me, and you'd hear lots of death shouts and screams, which was a lot of fun. One of the director when we were doing that, basically said, okay, you know, you've been stabbed. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. You've been kicked to death. I was like, oh, okay. And then the last one, he said, right, okay, now imagine you've been kicked in the shin, and that was powerful enough to defeat you. And it's like, oh, I wonder what that sounds like. Let's give it a go. So that was really fun. And the very first project that I got to go down to London for was a game called De-Exit, which was so cool. It was, I got to play some skeletons in that. It was set in the afterlife, and the skeletons decided whether or not they wanted to continue pursuing their sort of career that they did before, or they wanted to do something new. And I played a poet as one of them, and the introduction to him was so much fun because there was a sun that was so hot it would just decimate anything that wasn't in shade, and he was on the verge of getting burned, so the only way he could calm himself down was by singing like opera kind of thing. Maybe not fully opera, but he was singing to himself to try and calm himself down, which was really fun to do. So yeah, lots of characters that I adore for all their individual uniqueness, and I can't wait to see what other characters I get to play. So the next question, do I have any Damian merch? I don't, but I want some so badly. Oh, I want some so badly. I am so jealous of the content creators that got a Hypercharge shirt and the D&D book. That looks so cool. I'm holding out hope that Supercell will send me one so I can read some of the D&D book for you as Damian. That would be so sick. But yeah, I don't have any merch as of yet. I would love to get some though, because I've got a little collection on my desk of little characters or representation of games and animations that I've been in. And I always like to add something to that if I can. So yeah, I hope to have some Damian merch very soon, if I can. Be nice. Righto, so the next question is, do I know if Damian has any sensory or auditory issues? And I love this question so much. I don't know officially if he does. I don't think he does, because I think the reason why he's wearing headphones is because of hearing the rhythm and the beat, and that's driving him overboard kind of thing. But you can relate to it. Like, I love the fact that I've had messages from people who relate to Damian in that fashion, might be autistic or ADHD, and, you know, can get overwhelmed by loud noises and have to wear earphones. I love that so much, and I love the fact that you can relate to Damian in that way, because, you know, I don't own Damian, you do. I mean, technically Supercell does, but you can take this character and you can relate to him any way you want, and that is just as correct as someone else's opinion on Damian, and I adore that so much. But officially, I don't think he does, but I could be wrong. I honestly could be wrong. I'm learning a lot about Damian alongside all of you as we go. Okay, so the next question is, what would Damian do if someone messed with Draco? Well, my friends, I think you need to check out this video, and I will link it down in the description, because I was going to just answer this of what I thought would happen, and then I thought it would be more fun just to make a video, and that's what I did, and it went down pretty well, and it was a lot of fun to make. It may have involved someone getting thrown through a wall. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, so the final question of this video is Draco likes cats. Does Damian? And what does he think of Kit? I do think Damian is probably more of a cat person over a dog person, and I think that's just that because he would probably find cats quite calming. You know, a little kitty comes and sits on your lap, you're gonna be nice and calm. What in terms of what he thinks of Kit, this actually came out a little bit on the stream that I did, and it was a lot of fun seeing what people thought. And I think we kind of come to the conclusion that Damian would probably kidnap Kit. Kidnap. He would kidnap him. And just sort of be like, "You're mine now, big kitty." And Kit would absolutely hate that. He really would, until Draco and Lumi sort of say, no, you're gonna have to let him go. So I think he would like Kit, but I don't think Kit would particularly like Damian because he'd just be getting sick of being petted. At least that's my thoughts. I'm not sure. What do you think? Do you think Damian likes cats or dogs more? Okay, so that is everything for this video. Thank you so much for the questions. Please keep them coming. I am more than happy to keep answering questions for you, be it related to the recording process for Damian, the game itself and what I think of the character, or just voice acting in general. I'm an open book. I'm more than happy to give my insight on it. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here. Until next time.